Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ACW Newscast. I am Hakeem Johnson, your ACW commentator, as always, and I understand that you guys have missed this voice throughout this entire week. I understand. I will be addressing that amongst many things here on this newscast. But today we're going to talk about a lot of big things that are happening. This might be a big newscast to go over a couple of topics, but we'll see what we can try to condense here. We're going to be going over your questions and comments. We're going to talk about the big news that was released today and was rumored from leaks last night, I believe, of the fact that Ryu, ACW's Ryu, is now the newest addition in a downloadable character standpoint of the newest Super Smash Bros. Game, along with Fire Emblem's Roy. So we're going to talk about that in a little while as well. And then also we're going to talk about some ACW stuff and how that will pertain to me in the future. But before we talk about anything, before we even get to anything, I would be remiss if I didn't first start off and talk about the unfortunate situation, the unfortunate passing of one of the greatest entertainers, one of the greatest talkers, one of the greatest personalities to ever step foot in the wrestling business, to ever step foot in a wrestling ring. As everyone knows, I believe on Thursday, the American Dream, Virgil Runnels Jr., aka Dusty Rhodes to a lot of us, unfortunately passed away today. He unfortunately passed away on Thursday, and at the age of 69. I'm not gonna report on the rumors of why he passed away. That's not really my business to discuss, and it's not really my position to really add into that situation. All I know is that we lost a very valuable legend, and some of my memories of Dusty. Now I was born in '91, so unfortunately I didn't get to really live through Dusty's peak golden years in the wrestling world, but just because I was born in '91 and I can be considered as a youngin doesn't mean that you don't go back and watch and relive those moments he was a part of. And I can't tell you how many times I've watched a lot of things as it pertains to the NWA. In a lot of ways, I feel like I am more of an NWA guy than I am a WWF or E guy. Just my whole personality, the whole mentality of everything that I put together with my shows and all that, I feel like I lean towards more the NWA side than I would with the WWE side, and there is a difference. You figure that out. But I was watching a lot of NWA promos and matches involving Dusty this weekend, and one of my favorite memories from Dusty was the segment that it dealt with Dusty Rhodes being ambushed by the Four Horsemen as the Four Horsemen were driving behind Dusty Rhodes as Dusty was heading to the NWA headquarters, and that brutal attack that Dusty took from the Four Horsemen were involved. I believe it was Ole or Arn that tied Dusty's hand onto a vehicle and got a bat and just smashed the bat onto Dusty's hand, and obviously it was edited, it was freeze framed at that moment, but it made it look very surreal. It made it look very real because that's the kind of stuff that does happen. And I will never forget when Dusty was about to get hit with that baseball bat on his hand. He was like, "Make it look good." Dusty was shouting, "You better make it look good." And it just tells me how much Dusty was so relatable to a lot of people. He was a common man. He wasn't just some type of guy that you see in today's wrestling, or not the same type of gimmick or character. Dusty necessarily didn't need a gimmick because Dusty was Dusty, and I mean, I can obviously refer to the Hard Times promo, one of the best promos in the wrestling business. I can refer to him and his promo against Baby Doll and Tully Blanchard, calling Baby Doll a absolute zero and a complete zero, all that good stuff. Just a lot of great stuff. Or his whole stick when he was the Midnight Rider, and he addressed Barry Windham after Barry Windham just turned heel on Luger to join the Four Horsemen. Just a lot of beautiful stuff that went down with Dusty. Obviously, his match with Tully Blanchard at Starrcade, one of my favorite matches, one of the most underrated matches, actually. I think people don't talk about that match a lot. It was great to see Dusty and understand what type of integral part he was a part of wherever he went. I remember when he went to the WWF and he was given that polka dot gimmick. Now, a lot of people would look at that gimmick and say, "There's no way I'm gonna do that," or they will do it, but there would be no passion. There would be no way they want to put that kind of gimmick over. But Dusty was so smart. Dusty was so good at what he did. He took that gimmick and said, "You know what, Vince? This may be a stupid gimmick, and you might place it onto me as to teach me a lesson because I'm an NWA boy. But watch me get this gimmick over. Watch me get polka dots over." And that's exactly what he did. Dusty Rhodes, whatever he was given, he made it work, and he made it work better than anyone would have in that situation. And that's what I love about Dusty. He took something like that and made it work to his advantage because he was that good. So we lost a really important legend this week. It caught me by surprise. Now, granted, seeing Dusty recently, he wasn't looking all that well, but it still caught me by surprise in the fact that, well, I woke up I woke up that day and I was on Facebook like I always am, and then I saw R.I.P. Dusty. I'm like, nah, 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 this can't be what I think it is. And then I go to Yahoo and I see it. It's like, man, all these people that you grew up with watching on the television when you were a kid, they're all gone. They're all starting to leave. And I saw this picture, and it just made me realize how many people that I watched, that how many people that I saw on TV or live that are all passed away. They're passing away. Macho Man's gone, Ultimate Warrior's gone, Dusty Rhodes is now gone, Owen's gone, the British Bulldog's gone, Rick Rude's gone, Mr. Perfect's gone, Road Warrior Hawk is gone, Eddie Guerrero is gone, Andre the Giant is gone. It's depressing. To watch all these wrestlers that you grew up with, and now they're starting to pass off. So I don't know. Just it made me put a lot of things in perspective. But I hope a lot of people saw the 10 bell salute that I did for Dusty Rhodes on the ACW YouTube channel that I posted, I believe, last night or 2 days ago. Because he deserves it. Because Dusty Rhodes deserves it. I assume that the WWE today will be doing a 10 bell salute for Dusty at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view tonight, and they should do a tribute to him on Raw as well because he deserves it. And this is not really related, but I hope this is also the end of Stardust. I hope Cody Rhodes now can drop that gimmick and just be himself. That would be also nice. But Dusty, thank you for all the years of entertainment. Thank you for all the years of just great action, just great relatability. I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving us all the years that you bled, sweat, and cried, and we got to we get to relive it. We get to see what it becomes. We're just now just feeling the impact of what you went through, and hopefully nobody's giving you hard times anymore, and that you can wine and dine with all the angels that are up above, and there are no complete zeros up there as well. So, Dusty, Mr. Rhodes, thank you very much. We will miss you, and we will make sure your legacy and career will never be forgotten, and we will make sure it lives on forever, for as long as we live. So thank you, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Runnels. I appreciate it. You deserve every bit of appreciation and adulation that you deserve. Thank you. Thank you, Dusty. Okay, so I just want to put my 2 cents there on that situation. So let's talk about some other news going on. I'll start with ACW first. Now, first of all, I want to say thank you for those that did watch Excel and Impulse this week. I believe Excel got like over 300 views on YouTube in a span of a day and a half. That's crazy. So I appreciate that love and support from you guys. As I always say, my fans, ACW fans, are just great people to really just support something, and it's just great to see. Thank you very much. Thank you for putting up with no commentary this week. And I just want to explain that real quick. Out of protest, I decided not to do any commentary for ACW programming this week. I just felt my mindset and the way I was kind of thinking wasn't appropriate for me to do commentary. So if you guys want an update, here's your update. Um, so this upcoming week for Excel, I will be back on commentary. So I will be doing commentary for Excel this upcoming week as Excel gets ready for their road to Ground Zero. Um, and also I will be doing commentary as well for the ACW at E3 specials. That'll be a 2-night event. That'll be on Wednesday the 17th and Thursday the 18th. So I will be doing commentary for those both nights. Now, as for Impulse, I did watch Impulse last week. That had no commentary, and the JSA are not wasting any time to make an Impulse a apocalyptic wasteland, because that's exactly what it looked like this past week. Tenchi's now throwing his power around, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. He just already booked Trunks to be in a match to defend his Impulse title at Apocalypse against Gohan. We all saw that coming. Freaking Raditz and Nappa show up out of nowhere and win the Impulse Tag Team titles. It's as worse as I thought it would be. So for that reason alone, I'm still not ready to get back to commentate on Impulse. I'm still not ready to do Impulse commentary. So what's gonna happen is that this upcoming Thursday or Friday, whichever day Impulse, or maybe even Saturday, whichever day Impulse is released this week, I will have a special guest commentator to do that, and I've already picked who that is. So don't send any requests. I already picked out who that is going to be. So I will have a special guest commentator to do Impulse this week, and maybe for the future, looking forward. I'm just still not comfortable to do any commentary for Impulse, because yeah, if you really just Fusion really hurt, okay? Fusion really hurt me, and so I just feel like I don't want to do any commentary for Impulse right now. Not saying that I won't ever again, but for right now, I just need to kind of get away from Impulse. But Excel will be commentated by me this upcoming week. The E3 specials for ACW will be commentated by me as well this week, and I will have a special guest commentator for Impulse this upcoming week. So there you go. Now let's also talk about the fact that, speaking of that, ACW at E3 is this week. E3 is this week. And yes, for those that are going to ask already, I will be watching E3. ACW Anime Championship Wrestling is a part of E3 once again. Instead of a one-match, one-and-done thing for one night for ACW like last year, it's going to be a 2-day event. And already on the XL side, it's going to be Azuka Kazama taking on Cammy. A little bit of Tekken versus Street Fighter there, but those two glamours will be going at it at the special. And also just announced actually today, Cloud Strife will be defending the television title against Donkey Kong, the legendary Donkey Kong. That'll be a very exciting matchup to see between the two. Hopefully, Cloud Strife in his first title defense is able to retain it for his sake, or Donkey Kong could very well walk out with the television title in his first title. Also, I want to do a little bit of breaking news as well. As you all remember, the last time you saw Samus was brutally assaulted by that masked lady, who we still don't know who it is. And there have been a lot of speculation. There have been a lot of guesses as to who this person really is. And we haven't seen Samus since that brutal assault. Well, I can really tell you guys right now that Samus will be at the E3 special this upcoming week. She will be there live. She won't be wrestling, but she will be there live. And she apparently has a lot of things that she wants to get off her chest. Get your mind out of the gutters, guys. I'm just saying, she has a lot of things that needs to get off her mind right now, and she will be at the E3 special to address that situation. So make sure you look up for that. And I'm sure Impulse will have some matches to be announced heading into that special as well. So be on the lookout for that. So there you have it with ACW News for right now. Apocalypse will be on July 5th. Again, I don't know if I will be commentating on that as well. We will find out on that situation, but we don't know. So that's it for ACW News. Now, another big news item that happened, I believe, this weekend, late this weekend. Um, as it pertains to Super Smash Brothers. So we now have two new characters announced for Super Smash Bros. 4 as a DLC, a downloadable content. First off, Roy from Fire Emblem is coming back to the Smash series. Um, I gotta say, Super Smash Bros. 4, it's like a Fire Emblem takeover. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like a Fire Emblem takeover. Like you got, who do you got? Ike and Marth and Lucina and Robin. You got Chrome as a final Smash. Now you've got Roy. It's like a Fire Emblem Palooza right now. So I don't know about that, but Roy's back, so that's cool. Lucas, ACW's Lucas, who has been going through a lot of changes lately in his persona. He's also a downloadable character, as we all know by now. But let's be quite honest here. Let's cut the BS here. Let's be quite honest here. The big news coming out of this whole reveal is the fact that Capcom's own, Street Fighter's own, ACW's own, Ryu, you heard me right, Ryu, is the latest addition as a downloadable character for Super Smash Bros. 4. Yeah, shit just got real. Now, I didn't want to really fully believe it because I thought it was just leaks and I didn't want to buy it, but I went the Facebook, the Super Smash Bros. Facebook page officially announced it. Wow, what a big coup for Nintendo. First of all, this tells me that Nintendo officially owns their competition. I mean, think about it. Sonic is in Super Smash. That's Sega, Nintendo's biggest competitor back in the day. You've got Mega Man and Ryu now in there. That's Capcom. You've got whoa. So start over here. Namco Bandai. There you go. With Pac-Man. So Nintendo is the ruler of all. Honestly, I think they've already won this E3, going by these announcements. But we'll see about that. But the thing is, Ryu's in Super Smash now. I have some mixed feelings, to be honest. Though I have two sides to this. One, it's great to see Ryu on Super Smash. I think Ryu is a legend that deserves his spot in Super Smash. Ryu is a very interesting character to use if you want to play him correctly. That's all well and good. I mean, another addition to a big roster this year for Smash. But here's my problem, and that's kind of what I was getting into. Nintendo's making it seem like this is going to be like the final Smash game of the series, or going to be the final Smash game for a long while. Like, we're not going to get another Smash for a long while. And my issue with it is, like, if you're still going to continue the series, then I would have saved Ryu for the next Smash. Just my opinion, because you already got Mega Man, you already had Mega Man, you already had Pac-Man, you already got the Fire Emblem characters, you got the Mii fighters, you already got your characters that will sell the game. To add Ryu, it's like, yeah, but how are you going to top that? Is basically what I'm getting at. How are you going to top that? You got Mewtwo now, like, it's the whole thing. If I was a marketer, if I was a businessman, it's like, why not use Ryu as the focal point for Smash 5? Why not make them wait until Smash 5 comes out? Ryu would sell regardless, but you would make them wait more. I don't know. I just feel like Ryu belongs in Smash. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like he belonged on Smash 5 rather than Smash 4. I think I don't know how you're gonna top that. Just they're making it seem like this is gonna be the final Smash game, in my opinion. But again, I'm glad that Ryu's on Smash. It's pretty cool. I will be I got the game anyway, so I will be playing as Ryu as soon as he comes out. So that'll be fun. Well, that's if I even have free time. I don't get free time these days, and I will go over that in a couple of minutes. So there you have it with that. So congratulations go to Ryu along with Roy and Lucas being a part of the downloadable pack for Smash 4. So make sure you guys go get that game if you haven't already, and make sure you guys go download those characters when it becomes available. So with all that being said, it is time now for the Q&A portion of the ACW Newscast. Now, a lot of you, and I'm emphasizing a lot of you, sent questions to me about anything and everything. I will try to answer all of them. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm probably not gonna be able to answer all of them, so I'm gonna try to condense this newscast. I don't want this newscast to go as long as it needs to. But I will try my best. So if your question didn't get answered, that's fine. Some of you sent like 4 or 5 questions, so if I answer at least 1 or 2 of them, you should be fine. But for time reasons, for time restraint reasons, for my personal reasons, I'm trying to condense this newscast today. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure this will end up 3 hours later, but we'll see what happens. All right, got a lot of good questions too, by the way. So thank you guys for answering. That's my job. Thank you for sending your questions to me for this week, but let me get to it right now. Let's see. One, what are your thoughts about Ryu, Roy, and Shantae being a part of Super Smash Bros. As DLC? That's asked by Torn Anthony Fluker. I already answered that. I pretty much answered that question. I didn't hear about Shantae being a part of that. I might be just me, but I didn't hear about Shantae being a part of it. So I don't know. Honestly, I think Smash 4 needs to stop adding characters. In my opinion, I think Ryu was the penultimate. Again, you should have saved that for Smash 5. I think they need to stop adding characters. In my opinion, that's just me. Let's see. Um, which June pay-per-view would you like to see? Money in the Bank, Best in the World, or Slammiversary? I will not be able to watch Money in the Bank because I will be working. So I have to watch that either later today, later tomorrow. I have to watch that tomorrow. I have to watch the highlights later to when I get back. But yeah, that would be Money in the Bank. Slammiversary, they haven't even announced the full card yet, and I'm hearing rumors that you're not even gonna do Kurt Angle versus EC3 for the world title. You're saving that for an Impact on July 1st. That's pretty stupid. And I understand that's kind of Destination America forcing TNA to do this schedule here and there, but still, you should have saw that coming. You should have prepared for that. So what's the point of ordering Slammiversary if the main focal point in EC3 versus Angle isn't going to be a part of that? That's stupid. And Best in the World, I'll check it out, but I'm not really that interested this year as I was the previous years. That's just my opinion. What do you think of the Wrestling Wednesday wars between NXT, Lucha Underground, ROH, and Impact? I love it. I mean, anything to make the wrestling business better. And a lot of people are talking about, oh, come on, this is not the Monday Night Wars. That's not the point. It's not supposed to be. What we mean by is that you now have alternatives. You now have an alternative night to watch alternative wrestling. If you don't like what you're seeing with Raw on Mondays, then you can go watch wrestling on Wednesdays. You can watch something like Lucha Underground or Impact or ROH or NXT as your WWE alternative. So it's good for the business. It's good for the fans, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see. William Simeon asked me. Asked. I got a little bit of a slight list, so it makes me say certain things, but whatever, you guys don't care. Hakeem, thanks again for reading my questions and answering on the last ACW Newscast. I feel honored by it. Just get that out of the way. So here's my question. Despite everything that has happened to our president, Barack Obama, how do you feel in your opinion about how he has done as Commander-in-Chief, and who do you think would be our next president in your honest opinion? Oh, man. Well, Obama's tenure as president for 8 years. There are a lot of people that will say that Obama's the worst president ever, and I don't agree with that. I thought Bush 43 was worse. I thought Reagan was a little bit worse. Who else did I thought was worse? Who else? Carter was maybe a little bit worse than Obama, but at the same time, for those saying that Obama's the greatest president of all time, I don't agree with that either. There's still a lot of issues that I have with Obama in terms of NSA spyware, the NSA spyware that the government has control over, the excessive use of oil still within our society is still a problem because we have to go to these foreign countries to pretend to be friends with to get their oil. Obamacare is still not being ironed out as perfectly as it needs to be. Not sending enough aid to Africa, that's also something that's personal to me. at times being the United Nations bitch in terms of foreign affairs. So, and then the all ever raising debt in our country that still hasn't been solved. So, Obama, in my opinion, Obama has been decent. Like, I put it this way: on one spectrum, to me, he's been decent, and on the other, at the other end of the spectrum, he's been mediocre. So you'll find me in that position. I either think he was decent or mediocre. That's just my opinion. I don't. We all bought the Obama bullshit when we should have just realized he was a politician like everybody else. But damn, Obama sounded like a WWE character, so I mean, it wasn't really that far off. But now I hope we realize that just because we liked him doesn't mean they'll do the job well. As for your second question, who's going to be the president in 2016? I will tell you this right now. I really have no political affiliation. But I'll just say this right now. Don't expect a Democrat winning the presidency. It's going to be a Republican. This country has a lot of mindless sheep that just like to vote the other side every 4 to 8 years. It will be a Republican. I would not be surprised at all. Hillary's not winning. You might want to get that out of your system right now. There will be a woman president in our lifetime. Hopefully, when I live to see it, there will be a woman president. That won't be denied, but it won't be Hillary to do it. Hillary's too unlikable. I don't like her either. Hillary's already going through her issues right now with the using her personal email to do business. It's not a good look. I know she's got the whole Clinton machine behind her. The Clinton machine, the one that almost destroyed Obama too in '08. But nah, Clinton's not winning. And then everybody else, and I like Bernie Sanders to a point, but he's too old to really be president. If you're gonna give McCain the same kind of criticism about that, then Bernie Sanders is the same way. And he's too extreme for the casuals taste, so he won't win. And then everybody else in the Democratic race is all weak in comparison. Frankly, the Republican side, it's not much better. Jeb Bush is running, and I don't see Jeb Bush running. I don't think people have forgotten that his brother Bush has fucked over this country to where we're still feeling the long-term consequences of it. So Bush is not going to run for a while. So Jeb Bush won't be winning. Chris Christie has his problems right now in Jersey as governor, so he probably is not going to win. Marco Rubio could be a possibility, but I don't know about all that. I really don't know about all that. I heard Rick Perry's running again. Yeah. If you can remember the third agency that he wants to get rid of with government, that'd be nice. Yeah, a very weak field from both sides. This upcoming election year. I almost thought about not voting next year, to be honest with you. But then again, if I don't vote, then I wouldn't have a right to bitch about the things in society, so I have to vote. So, but it's a very weak field on both ends, and whoever's gonna be president is just gonna. It's very weak. Put it that way. Whew. Anyways, let's see here. Number one, Hugo Goncalves asked, which characters that you requested in the Smash Bros. Fighters ballot? That's the first question. I did not really do that. I didn't really do that ballot thing because a lot of stupid anime fans was gonna do, oh, we want Goku on Super Smash, we want Naruto in Super Smash, and that's kind of the problem that I had with Ryu being added this year, because it's gonna set a precedent. It's gonna make all the weeaboos all like, well, Ryu can get into Smash 4, then Goku can definitely get into Smash 4. The day that Super Smash starts adding anime characters, the day is gonna be ruined. And this is coming from a guy that runs an anime CAW league. This is coming from a guy that loves anime. And I'm telling you that adding anime characters to Smash is going to ruin the whole thing. It's just going to. If you're going to do something like J All-Stars Victory, something like that, that's different. But for Smash, no. Absolutely not. No. 2. Have you tried out WWE 2K15 on PC and mobile? No, I have not. And 3. Which WWE or TNA stables do the Jorian Sane Alliance remind you of? I'm sure there's going to be the NWO comparisons, which is somewhat of a reminiscent kind of thing. Let's see here. For a while, I thought that the JSA kind of reminded me of the Dangerous Alliance back in WCW. One of my favorite stables of all time. One of the most underrated stables of all time. Yeah, the Dangerous Alliance was awesome. Because it goes Four Horsemen for me, Dangerous Alliance, and then NWO. So, there you go. Um, yeah, I would say NWO and Dangerous Alliance would remind me of the JSA right now. That's kind of a fair comparison. Let's see. Kavaja Humphrey asks, now that the JSC has taken over Impulse, could the Impact be added all the way to Animania 4? I don't know. I don't know. I really can't tell you. That's how dangerous and how unholy this alliance has become with the JSA. And we're getting close next year to our 10th anniversary. Our 10-year anniversary for ACW. I have no idea what's going to go on. I think into that. I really don't. Adrian Gonzalez asking me, what is your WWE Money in the Bank predictions? Just give you some quick cliff notes here. Rollins is going to win for Reigns to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase because Reigns is winning. Sorry, folks. If you don't think Reigns is not winning that Money in the Bank briefcase, you're stupid. And that's just the only way I have to say, because all the people that said that Roman Reigns wasn't ready for WrestleMania 31 to win the title, good. That's cool. Because all you were doing was delaying the inevitable. Roman Reigns is going to be the guy. Deal with it. It's just the facts. He's going to be the guy after Cena. He's going to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at some point. He's going to be the man for a while. Period. And honestly, Reigns has improved. He's improved really well. He's done really good in matches. He's starting to be more comfortable on the promo, on the mic. He's got a charisma. He's got a charisma about him. He's got a personality about him. You have to be a Roman Reigns hater at this point to be thinking that he doesn't deserve that title at this point. That's just my opinion. Also, I expect Cena to go over Owens. There's no way Cena, being the master politician that he is going to put Owens over twice, even though that would be best for business. To steal a quote, because there was this picture roaming around this week on Facebook that said Cena puts people more over than Hulk Hogan, and I called bullshit, because this has to be either someone that's been watching wrestling since 2003 or someone that really hates Hulk Hogan, because that's stupid. Hulk Hogan put over The Rock cleanly. He put over Brock Lesnar over. He put over the Ultimate Warrior. He put over Goldberg. He put over Angle. I think he even put over Billy Kidman. I think he did. Who the hell has Cena put over? Who the hell has Cena put over? That wasn't Brock Lesnar. That wasn't The Rock. That wasn't Kevin Owens, even though that might be erased after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view's over. And maybe Daniel Bryan. Don't say CM Punk. CM Punk has never been Cena clean. Never. He hasn't. So, that was laughable to me when I saw that picture. And as for the Money in the Bank, like I said, Reigns is winning that whole thing. And everything else I really don't care about. So, there you go. Alright. Let me pull out some more questions here. If my phone can stop acting stupid, because it's an Android. Yes, I like Androids, okay? Not like Android as in DBZ, but like Android as in phone. I have no idea what I just said. Don't laugh at me. Alright, here's more questions now. Alright. Let's see. Will Ogilvy, hope I said that right, asked me, what are your favorite colors? Well, wow. Oh, okay. My favorite color is blue. Although I do like purple and gold and green. I know, weird. That was a weird question though too. So, and he asks, can I bring one of my original characters into your league? Unfortunately, I can't. Fortunately, I don't do a original call league. I do a fantasy call league. Now, granted, I gotta say something here. I can always do an original call league. It's not the fact that when I did ACW, when I started off ACW, that I didn't like original colleagues. I do like original colleagues. I like COH. I like DZH. I like DZH. There you go. I like the Call All Stars event that comes up every year. I like WEDF to certain points here and there. I like CCL obviously. I like DCA obviously. So I love original colleagues. It's not like I hate them. It's just my interest was more on anime at that time, and nobody was doing anime colleagues until I showed up. So, there you have it. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't accept original characters in my league. You might want to try Call of Honor, DCA, WEDF, or CCL somewhat to see if you can get a shot there. But yeah, I don't do original calls. on my show. Um, Darian Rouse from WWE TV asked, "What are your thoughts on Edward Elric's pipe bomb against Haru Glory?" Yeah. Um, I heard he was suspended. I heard he was suspended this week after he said those things after the show. Um, yeah. I don't want to say too much because it's really a lot of behind the scenes kind of things when it comes to that. But um, if I remember right, there was a breaking news I think this weekend that Haru Glory had a sit down interview with Michael Cole and that he will address those accusations on Excel this upcoming Tuesday. So we will see what Haru Glory will have to say about that. I can't really respond because again that's more of a behind the scenes personal thing, but it was something. It was something. I'll put it that way. And who would you want? Would you want WTV to help you take down the JSA once and for all? I mean, you can try. I doubt it's gonna work. I doubt anything's gonna work at this point against them. And what are your thoughts on WTV, CM Punk, and Zhang Jia joining the JSA? The cancer grows. The cancer grows. That's all I gotta say. Let's see. Mark Castaneda, I hope I said that right, was said, in regards to Edward Elric's pipe bomb on Excel, are we expecting Fairy Tail members to arrive at some point? I mean, he kind of did mention it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. And that accusation Elric made may have some truth to it, but again, that's not the full story, is it? So I don't know. Never say never. Although I think people know me by now that I'm not the biggest Fairy Tail fan. I think Fairy Tail is one of the most overrated animes in the last decade. It's really not that good. Um, like really, if you really think about it, take out the fan service. Take out the fan service. What would Fairy Tail be? Probably a weak ass Fate Stay Night or something like that, but or weak ass One Piece. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Fairy Tail fan. I think it's overrated as crap. More overrated than Sword Art Online, and that's saying something. But just because I feel that way about Fairy Tail doesn't mean that I wouldn't bring Fairy Tail characters into ACW. So never say never. All right. God damn it. Gary Connell Jr. asks, "What are your thoughts on the whole Caitlyn Jenner fiasco?" Ah, damn it. I was trying to avoid this. Well, I'm gonna mention this briefly because I frankly don't give a shit about this news, or what we're calling as news, because it's really not news. We can talk about a billion more important things than this. But here's what I'll briefly say. First off, I have no issues with Bruce or Kaylin, whoever the fuck she's calling herself. I have no issues with her because she made her own decision. She made a decision that made her happy, and at the end of the day, it's not going to affect my personal life whatsoever. So I have no problems with what she. I have no problems. I might have some problems with her with what she did, but I have no ill will or hate or spite against her for what she did. If she feels happy about the transition she wants to make, then that's on her. My problem, however, is with a couple of things. One, the mainstream media, the oh so corporate state-run sensationalized media that wants to put this out as a courageous act of honor, knowing damn well they don't give a shit and that this is just going to generate money for them, because that's what the mainstream media does. To lie and misinform their viewers so they can make a profit out of you when you watch. That's their only objective. They're not there to be objective. They're not there to give you the honest truth. They're not there to do any investigative journalism. They are there to make a profit out of our stupidity. That's it. And that's why I really don't even watch news on TV anymore, because it's bad for your health. It really is. Also, I have to also put blame on some of these gender extremists and modern day feminists that are trying to force this issue to your face and making you think that you have to agree with this opinion, you have to accept it. If you don't accept it, you're a transphobe, you're a homophobic, you're whatever, you're misogynist, or all that bullshit that they always say whenever you don't agree with them, but they don't know what the fuck it means in the first place. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I have my reservations on the whole transgender situation. Yes, I do. And that's okay. That is okay to do. That is okay for you to have a different opinion over what other people think in support of this situation. That's okay. We're humans. We're naturally there to disagree on many issues. But for you to force your opinion, you're no better than all these Christian or religious fundamentalists that try to force their opinions onto you. And that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it when people force their beliefs, no matter who you are or what you believe, force their opinions to me as if I have to accept it. I don't have to accept shit. Alright? If I have my reservations on the situation, then I do. And I'm not a bad person for it. Alright? I'm not transphobic. I'm not misogynistic for it. I just differ from your opinion. And if you can't accept that, then go back to your fucking hug box and stay there and let people say all these safe words to make think that the reality that we live in is all peaches and cream when it fucking isn't. Sick and tired of all these, these Tumblr viewers and these weak ass third rate modern feminists and these gender extremists coming in and trying to force their opinions and hammer it down on your throat as if you have to accept this. I don't have to accept shit. And if you don't like it, tough shit. I don't really care. That's how I feel. I'd rather be honest for who I am than try to lie just to be accepted amongst people that I don't even care about. Get the fuck out of here. Whew. Anyways, that's all my own opinion on that. What's his next questions here? Question number 2 from Gary Connell. What are your thoughts on Kevin Owens' run on the main roster? I like it so far. So far. Again, this is the WWE. They can screw this whole run up for him very easily. But I think Kevin Owens will be different. For Cena to put him over clean at Elimination Chamber was big. So he can do great work. It's always going to be about the follow-up with Kevin Owens. Because we were saying the same thing about Wade Barrett. We were saying the same thing about Ryback. We were saying the same thing about Bray Wyatt. We were saying the same thing about Rusev when it comes to John Cena. And they all faltered or are faltering. So we don't know with Kevin Owens. Never assume that Kevin Owens is safe. There is no guarantee. Especially if Cena doesn't put him over clean at Money in the Bank today. Okay. Joshua Howell asks, who are you voting for in the SCAW Choose a Superstar game? I gotta vote for Django. Not just for the whole TWA connection, but Django and SCAW will be a very unique character for SCAW. I want to see how Lone Star will kind of handle him. Goku, obviously, I was voting for as well. Gotta vote for Goku. I haven't checked the latest results on the Choose a Superstar game yet. So Goku, I'm obviously voting for. That's ACW love there. And Captain Falcon, probably my favorite Smash character of all time, and I just love him in general. So I'm voting for those. So those are the 3 I'm kind of voting for, switching votes with. So, John Mercer, are the JSA looking to recruit outsiders from other COFETs to join their crusade? If so, will they get you forced to be a part of it? Who knows at this point? Go ask Tenchi and Ayaka and Gohan. I don't know. I don't really care about the JSA. Just go ask them. I don't know. They might be looking for a new recruit. I mean, the cancer's gonna still grow, but whatever. Vinny Christian, VPAC from YouTube, asked me 3 questions. Number 1, have you considered ever doing a behind-the-scenes video? Yes, I have. I really have. I just haven't had the time to do it or had the interest to do it. But I might do it in the future, in the very near future. I might do a behind-the-scenes kind of documentary about how ACW and everything is put together and all that good stuff. Number 2, have you seen the epicness that is Kung Fury yet? No, I have not, but I have heard of it. I need to actually check that out. And number 3, how was my commentary on Excel 54? I liked it. By the way, I don't mind people doing alternative commentary on my shows if there is no commentary, so I don't mind that. You can do whatever you want. I actually encourage it because, I like to see how fans interpret ACW in their own way. It's very interesting. So, and yes, I did watch the alternative commentaries for Impulse and Excel. I was kind of impressed. But yeah, you did a good job, VPAC. Joshua Howe, did you see TWA Elimination Chamber? I have not seen the full show yet. I need to get on that. It's been a busy week and a half for me. I haven't caught up on my anime shows that I'm watching. I haven't really caught up on any call shows that I've been watching. Haven't caught up on any a little bit with wrestling, but I haven't caught up with a lot of wrestling as well. I've just been very busy. I just haven't had free time really. So I haven't seen it. Grok Weevil. That's like the weirdest thing I've seen in my life. But anyways, He's asked me a couple of questions here. I'll answer some of them though. Um, are we ever gonna see Ellie in ACW again? Who knows? Maybe. That's up to Harvard, really. But if going by Edward Elrick's accusations, we may never see her again. Um, are there any colleagues you follow but feel that they need massive improvement of work? If yes, which ones? And what can you tell the owners to help him or her make it better? P.S. You can't say Battle X because you already dissected it last time. I am gonna say it again, Battle X. Oh no, honestly though, I watch a lot of colleagues, or I watch enough to get the gist of things here and there. So to answer your question, there's a lot of colleagues that I like UCCW, TNXA, Battle X, SCA. Um, but the thing is, those leagues that I mentioned, they do need a lot of work. Um, I already discussed Battle X, which you need to work on, so work on that. Although your commentary for Excel was a great improvement though, I will say that. But yeah, you need to work on a lot of things for Battle X, like I stated earlier. I mean, last newscast. Um, TNXA, they need to work on the fact that they need to understand how to use their characters. It feels like sometimes there's no consistency with their characters and how they're portrayed in their shows. It feels like they're doing one thing and then they're doing the next thing out of random, and there's no explanation. There's no smooth transition. You need to make your characters matter. You need to make your characters seem like they matter to the viewers. And that's also the same with UCCW. It feels like um, certain characters here and there are just randomly used, and then you never see them again. That, and Matt needs to still work on his commentary. Uh, UCCW's come a long way though. I gotta give it that. They've come a long way. They've done better than they have, say, like a year ago or 2 years ago. They still got a lot of work they need to do as a colleague though. And SCA, I love Mathos. I like his commentary. One of the best commentators in CAW today. But again, with SCA though, I can follow the storylines, but there's no impact. There's no trajectory as to where this is going. It feels like there's just a segment, then a match, segment, then a match. There's no mixing up. There's no way to get people invested in the matches when the segments are just there. So that's just my opinion. Those are my opinions on certain colleagues there. But yeah, those four that I mentioned in particular need to improve on what they need to do. And another thing, stop trying to. And a lot of these colleagues need to listen to this too. Stop trying to be cool. Like, stop trying to be tryhards and be cool about things. Just put on an entertaining show. Stop trying to be appeasing to smarks. Stop trying to do all that. People. I always hear people about my commentary. Now, granted, my commentary isn't the best. I'm letting you know that. I'm letting you. I would say before you would say it. But people need to quit. People need to get over themselves. I am largely a face commentator. Now, granted, having a commentator that is necessarily all for the faces is outdated, yes. But the same applies for the heels as well. And a heel commentator just going for all the heels is also outdated. Now, granted, I am a face commentator, I guess, by default, but I do give credit to wrestlers and what they do, whether that's face or heel. However, I am not a smart commentator that has to make stupid ass references that probably people don't even get. Um, just a lot of stupid shit that I'm seeing in leagues lately that want to implement that whole reality era smart bullshit onto their leagues as if it's cool and innovative. You know. No, with me, and trust me, I'm guilty of it as well. I mean, I've done that here and there, but I don't. It's not a central point. You know what I mean? It's not a central point. I still keep with traditional storylines. So, a lot of you guys, and you guys probably know who you are. Stop trying to be cool. Just do a great show. Just do great commentary. Stop trying to impress your friends so they can like you, so that they can watch your show. Just fucking do a good show. God. All right. Charles Bell asks me some questions here. What is the hardest part of doing ACW? Honestly, the hardest part of ACW, as a lot of you experienced with this mega event with Fusion, is actually posting the show. Having it upload and process and make sure everything checks out for it to be available for publishing. That's the hardest part. Recording the matches and segments, that's not really hard. It's repetitive, but it's not that hard to me. When you've been doing this for almost 9 years, it's not that hard anymore. Putting it together, it's always fun. It can be excruciating sometimes, but it's not hard. It's honestly the post production and uploading that's the hardest part. Um, what is the best looking male CAW in ACW and the best looking female CAW in ACW? What? So you're asking me who's the best looking male in ACW and the best looking female in ACW? Okay, now that's the weirdest question I've gotten all day. Um, I, I'll just say Broly. His physics impressive, and female call. I'll say Cammy. Yeah, I know. White chick. I'm a black guy. Cammy. I'll put it that way. Uh, do you get mad when a botch or glitch happens when you try to record an ACW show? I used to, but not anymore. When I first started out with ACW, I used to get really upset because it's like, damn it, I fucking mistimed it. But now, not so much anymore. I know how to edit it, or at least make it look good in my favor. So I don't get upset about it anymore. Yeah. How did you decide what male wrestlers and female wrestlers would be in ACW? Just more so the fact that it depended on personal preference with me in the shows that I watch, the animes that I watch, also what other fans think is popular, like other fans, and what characters they really liked at the time that I could capitalize off of. And also because there's a lot of animes out there that a lot of people, for the most part, do not know about, and I try to implement that. Like, let's be honest. I mean, Haru Glory wasn't that really known. Unless you were watching Toonami or you were a die-hard anime fan, you really didn't know Rave Masters and Haru Glory and then now ACW comes in and puts Haru Glory over, maybe a bit too over for some people, but now people know Haru Glory. So there you go. And like also the Get Backers, the Get Backers, they were kind of a cult following for anime. Brought them in. Kyo from Samurai Deeper Kyo. It was also an underground kind of anime. Vanguard, unless you had the Stars channel for your cable and satellite premium, with Hibiki Tokai, Buso ranking with Kazuki Muto. So yeah, I always get the kind of a mainstream vibe when I bring in people, but also there's an underground element that I like to bring in as well. So, and are you looking for any male or female talent in ACW currently? Not at this time. All right. John Blackos asked, "Are you hyped for J Star's Victory Versus to be released out of Japan?" It looks interesting. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the anime version of Smash. That's fine. You can add whatever anime characters you want there. And I know it's a Shonen Jump only anime, but still, you can add as many anime characters. Just don't add them in Smash. That's gonna ruin the whole. That's gonna ruin the whole appeal to Smash, in my opinion. If you do that, if you start doing that, in my opinion. Let's see. What do you think of Food Wars Shingeki no Soma? I love that anime. I think that's my favorite anime of this season, actually. Granted, I love Sephiroth of the End. I love Legend of Arslan. I love Tekka Sensen, which is I think is Battle Blood Blockade or something like that. Battlefront? No. Wait a minute. It's Blood Battlefront. I don't know. You get what show I'm talking about. But I think Food Wars is my favorite anime from this season. Now, granted, it has fan service here and there, left and right, granted, of course. But I love the element. I love the whole cooking element because I do watch a lot of Food Network. Not just because it makes me hungry, but I do cook. Not like a chef or anything like that. I don't go to cooking school or chef school or whatever, but I do cook, so it's interesting to see what that anime does. But I love that show. I really do love that show. Soma's awesome. So he's whenever he takes off the bandages from his wrist and puts it on his head, it's shit's going down. So I love that anime. Your thoughts on the Sonic franchise? We'll be here for another hour. I'll just say this. How about this? Here's my reaction to the Sonic fanbase. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? This is my reaction to the Sonic fanbase. There you go. That's all you need to know. And for why did Haru didn't let Natsu and Lucy in ACW, you'll have to find out this upcoming Monday with that interview with Michael Cole. Mark Castaneda asked, "Are we expecting Roy to be in ACW?" Who knows? For all we know, he might be a JSA member, so who knows? See, and Joey Sharuba asked 2 questions here. Number 1, who do you think really earns the title of #1 video game call risk? Who do you really think earned the title of #1 video game call league in the world? Wow, subtle shots fired there. But in terms of what you're really asking, though, I don't want to put myself over. I'll put myself over. You can make an argument for my league if you want. I'm not gonna say that that it's the case, but you can make an argument for mine. SCAW's got to be on there. If we're talking about current leagues out there today, SCAW's got to be on there. Honestly, I only have one competitor. Honestly, I only have one competitor that I've always felt that is worthy to compete with in a friendly way, and that's always been SCAW. Because ACW and SCAW, we've both started around the same time. I think Lone Star started a little bit months after I did. I could be wrong, but Lone Star I think started a couple of months after I actually started. But SCAW has always been my kind of my friendly kind of competitor, kind of like a friendly kind of reminder of this is the level that I'm supposed to be on. So I always thought SCAW was ACW's only competition, because it's honestly is compared to what we've done in CAW. So yeah, I think SCAW deserves that title. If not my league for some of you, then it has to be SCAW. Period. And his final question here, and you got to be 100% honest about it because I have my answer, but I want you to know yours. Is it embarrassing to be a pro wrestling fan in a pussified generation that we live in today? Yes and no, because yes in the sense that the fact is wrestling isn't cool anymore. Back in the 80s and 90s, sure, it was cool. It's not cool anymore. Now it's UFC, it's now MMA that's the cool thing right now. Because back then in the 80s, you had boxing as the cool thing going around. In the 90s, you had pro wrestling, the cool thing going around. Now you're coming to 2015, it's MMA now. Because the WWE has shifted towards a way that has now made it family friendly, that a lot of the hardcore fans that used to watch it for the action and the testosterone levels that it caused are looking for other forms of entertainment, which would be MMA, or which would be sports, or maybe movies even. So it's kind of hard in a way, but at the same time, listen, I'm not ashamed to be a wrestling fan. I let people know that I know, that know me, know that I am a wrestling fan. I posted an Instagram post on my personal Instagram of Dusty Rhodes, and talking about how Dusty Rhodes was a great man and all that stuff. And I felt it. I can just see the people asking like, Dusty Rhodes, you still watch wrestling? Fuck yeah, I still watch wrestling. I'm not ashamed to be a pro wrestling fan. And you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. A lot of you people that are ashamed of being a pro wrestling fan, you're all pussies. Period. You shouldn't have to change who you are and what you love just because a couple of people don't like it. For the people that say, well, pro wrestling is fake, so all the bullshit ass reality television that you watch isn't fake, am I right? So you that watches Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are gonna tell me that pro wrestling is fake? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Even a lot of the sports that you watch are predetermined in a way, if you really look into it. Especially if they come out of Vegas, if you're watching from an MMA or boxing standpoint. So they can be seen as predetermined or even fake. You shouldn't have to hide who you are and what you love because a couple of people that don't even like you want to tell you that that's wrong. That's bullshit. I let people know that I'm a wrestling fan, I'm a pro wrestler, that I'm a wrestling fan, and I watch wrestling. And if they don't like it, they can fuck off. Because I'm not a pussy. Alright? I'm a man. Alright? And I stand my ground whenever I stand my ground. I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I'm proud to wear it on my sleeve. I'm proud to wear it on my heart. And if you guys are ashamed to wear wrestling shirts out there, are you ashamed to watch wrestling on your spare time? If you're ashamed to tell people that, then stop being pussies and grow some balls. Seriously. Alright. And that is all the questions that I have. Alright. thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all those questions that you all sent me. Tried to answer all of them, but we're trying to be kind of short here a little bit. So thank you for those um, questions and comments towards me here today. One last thing I want to address, as you guys know, that still going to be a lot of busy. I'm still going to be busy. I've been really busy this past couple of weeks. Last week is when summer school started for me. I'm taking an English class for the summer, and that'll be lasting for 6 weeks. So these upcoming weeks are going to be very busy, and and it's going to probably overwhelm me. I'm not saying that it's going to be a hiatus or anything, but if you see Excel posted later than it's supposed to be, you'll know why. It's got a lot of things on my plate right now, just work, school, then ACW, then I got DCA that I'm part of as well, my personal life. So I'm trying to find a balance, and I haven't found it yet. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna try to have to do it, but yeah. So expect a lot of delays for these next 5 or 6 weeks. Expect a lot of delays. Again, trying to do the best I can, and I know you guys are gonna say, "Don't worry, life will recall," all that stuff. I get it, but I tend to not like when I promise something and I don't follow through with it. I don't like it when I promise that I will do this on a specific date and it doesn't come in. Like Fusion last week pissed me off because everything was fine, everything was settled, everything was perfect for it to be what it was, and it just wasn't. So I'm trying to avoid stuff like that. So just bear with me for these next couple of weeks here. So I will try my best to get things out on time or relatably on time and all that good stuff. So just want to give you a little update on that in case you guys want to wonder why there are delays lately and all that good stuff. So there you go. Well, that'll wrap up the ACW Newscast. Thank you guys for listening to another newscast edition of this here today. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can send them to me on Facebook or Twitter, however you want to do it. It's fine with me. And I will see you guys for Excel and for the ACW E3 events. And I will see you when I see you. So until then, this is Hakeem Johnson telling you all to stay cool. Stay cool. I'll see you guys later.